welfare fraud is found under the Welfare and Institutions Code sections 10980. Now, welfare fraud by itself is a charge where you're accused of knowingly misrepresenting the factual financial status or worth in order to receive more welfare benefits than you're entitled to. Now, this misrepresentation can be used to obtain health care, public aid, WIC, food stamps, among others. Now, this is an extremely common and heavily prosecuted charge in San Bernardino and is even given a specialized unit in San Bernardino County in order to prosecute. Now, this can happen in many different ways in which you can find yourself charged with a welfare fraud offense. Now, usually it happens when a person is maybe in a relationship with another, and that person then lives at their home. Now, people have issues in dating relationships from time to time. Sometimes people get into fights and maybe a significant other leaves for a certain time period. But if that person is living in your house, their income must be reported. Even if they come and go, even if they're there on a temporary basis, you have to report their income. Failing to do so can lead to a welfare fraud charge. This can also happen in a circumstance where if you are working at a volunteer or internship position at a job and that ends up becoming an actual part-time or even full-time position, you again have to notify the welfare office to let them know. Failure to do so will lead to a welfare fraud charge. Now, if the amount that the welfare office is claiming you received is over $950, you could be charged with a felony under this section. Now, if you are convicted of this charge as a felony, you can go to state prison for upwards of 16 months, 2 years, or 3 years. Now, if the amount is less than $950, you can be sentenced with the charge as a misdemeanor to up to 1 year in county jail. Now, these charges generally are not charged by themselves because every single time you sign a document under penalty of perjury claiming your income is a certain amount, whenever you file for welfare, every single time is a perjury charge in addition to a welfare fraud charge. So it's not uncommon in cases like this for a person to be charged with welfare fraud and 19 or even more counts of perjury in addition to that, which ups whatever your possible exposure and jail time is. Now, in addition to that, a crime of perjury as well as a crime of welfare fraud is what's called a crime of moral turpitude. That means that if you are living in the United States on a temporary status, if you have you're trying to get a permanent residency here, a crime like this will absolutely affect your immigration status and very likely affect your ability to remain in the country and very likely deport you as well. Same thing applies to people working in the professional business, people who are nurses or doctors or even attorneys, people who have professional licenses to work in the field that they work in. If they were to receive a crime of moral turpitude on their record, they could lose their license, their ability to work, and their ability to provide for their family. Now, the one thing to understand about a charge like this is that the charge is about money. Therefore, if you're ever charged under this section, you need to start saving your money now. The reason for that is the more money you're able to pay back to the state, the more money you're able to deduct from what you owe, the more likely you can avoid jail time. Now, for a welfare fraud charge, there are several common defenses to this. Commonly, as I indicated earlier, there is someone living there on a temporary basis. This could be some kind of friends visiting or family visiting or a significant other who's visiting. However, unless they are there on a more permanent basis, then you would not be found violating this section simply by having them stay in your house. Now, this is different than what I was indicating earlier when we were talking about a temporary status for like a boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other. Because in those circumstances, it's much more likely that person is there on a permanent basis, as opposed to if they have their own fixed address that they live at. If that is the case and they are simply visiting, then their income would not be included in your income. Now, another issue that happens in these types of cases is a lot of times when someone has a relationship where a significant other leaves for a certain time period and no longer has their income, the people at the welfare fraud office sometimes do not give adequate advice. They sometimes tell people, well, if it's only for a few weeks or something like that, then, or it's temporary, then you don't need to report it. That is not true. You always need to report a change in your income, whether it's from a significant other leaving, coming back, or you starting a new position. All of those I have seen in the hundreds, even thousands of cases I have handled of welfare fraud. That is why it's important that you always keep up to date with your reporting. Now, I've handled a lot of these cases. I know what needs to get done, and I know the people that we're going to be dealing with, meaning the prosecutors. Now, if you are being charged or accused of a violation under this section, you need my help. Give me a call today, and I can begin to help you. Thank you.